Busy Friday. President Trump firing up his base today with a rousing speech at CPAC outside Washington, D.C. He addressed a number of pressing issues, including the crisis in our schools, North Korea, and also the upcoming elections, hoping to motivate the crowd not to be complacent about the midterms.
Historically, if you win the presidency, you don't do well 2 years later. And you know what? We can't let that happen. Don't be complacent, because if they get in, they will repeal your tax cuts. They will put judges in that you wouldn't believe. They'll take away your Second Amendment, which we will never allow to happen. They'll take away your Second Amendment. They will take away those massive tax cuts, and they will take away your Second Amendment. The Senate Democrats and the House Democrats have totally abandoned DACA. They don't even talk to me about it. They have totally abandoned. You know, we get the reputation like DACA. It's not Republican. Don't worry. You're getting the wall. Don't worry, okay? I heard some. Getting the wall.
There was, of course, lots of trademark Trump flash as well.
All those horrible people back there, they're going to support me. You know why? Because if somebody else won, their ratings would go down. They'd all be out of business. My administration, I think, has had the most successful first year in the history of the presidency. I really believe that. We have a very, very crooked media. When I was here 2011, I made a speech. It was a love fest. 2011, I believe, the time was. And a lot of people remembered, and they said, we won Trump, we won Trump. By the way, what a nice picture that is. Look at that. I'd love to watch that guy speak. Oh, boy. Let's see. I try like hell to hide that bald spot, folks. I work harder. Doesn't look bad. Hey, we're hanging in. We're hanging in.
We're hanging in. I thought, Greg, that was the best moment. It's so self-deprecating for someone that's pretty, I wouldn't say vain, but is very involved with his hair. He loves his hair, and to make that point, I thought was pretty funny. Yes, I mean,
I don't know if this is recent, but he's really good at taking the slings and the arrows and turning them into armor. So it's like, it's very difficult. You were talking to me about this new Stephen Colbert cartoon about Trump and how hard it is for anti-Trump comedians to prosper, because Trump himself is actually more interesting.
Yeah, what I said was that the cartoon's not that funny.
Yeah, because you're competing with that.
He's funnier.
That's actually funnier. So it's like, imagine a portrait class where everybody's painting an athlete, but all they can do are stick figures. That's what's happening. You can't make... He's better at doing this than everybody else. I would say he's adept at it, because he loves the word adept.
He loves that.
But I did feel like watching this that I was like at, Ruth Chris, because there was so much red meat. But that's the audience that wants it. When you're going to CPAC, you give the red meat. But the only difference is he's interesting and he's funny. I mean, the Democrats could use some of that.
Very entertaining. We think the Democrats are funnier, Greg, for a different reason.
Yes.
We're laughing at them, not with them. He was there, obviously, to, tout his accomplishments, but also to fire up the base, because it's going to be a base election, and traditionally, the party in power doesn't do well. Do you think he effectively, created any momentum for the base?
For the crowd there, absolutely.
But in the larger context?
Well, yeah, but he has the three big things that the accomplishments he's going to point to are tax reform and the economy.
Yep.
The judges.
Yep.
For this crowd in particular. And then I think he would say Second Amendment protections. That's not really a proactive thing that he did.
But they love that.
Those are the three things that he kept repeating. And it's not so much a prospective thing, like, look at all the things we're going to do this year in 2018. That's what he said last year. Look what we're going to do in 2017. Because there's really nothing that they're really going to be able to get done. I don't think immigration is going to get done. And I just saw John Cornyn has just put out a statement saying he does not agree with the president on raising the age of the weapons to 21, of getting a weapon to 21. And so you already see that peeling off in the Senate. So the prospective things aren't going to work.
Right.
But telling that crowd that if the Democrats win, they're going to take away the tax cuts. They're going to try to take away the judges that you have, and they're going to try to repeal the Second Amendment.
Wow.
So you better go out there and vote. The only thing about this speech, and I've said this a lot, is that I feel like he could drive a news cycle better if he chose one thing to drive news on at the top of the speech, let the networks and all the reporters cover that piece, and then move on to do the rest of the speech, because everything gets lost. It was like being at Ruth Chris with like 5-course meal, and I couldn't eat it all.
So, and the big news, I think, what you would say was the North Korea sanctions that he left to the very end. I almost think he might have even forgotten he was going to break the North Korea sanction news, because there was so much other stuff. And he also spoke to reporters before he even got to the event, and I see what you mean about diluting the message. Juan, what was the most offensive part of the speech?
7 years to go.
Yes!
You know, for an old man, you're risking a heart attack, President.
You gonna make it?
7 years. Oh, my God. That's what he said. 7 years to go. The CPAC audience went wild.
Yeah.
So this was a rally. That's what I thought it was going to be, and I think his staff thought it was going to be something about increasing sanctions on North Korea. As you say, he's kind of got to it at the very end, but as an afterthought. He was far more interested in, to pick up on the steakhouse analogy, of throwing out the chunks of red meat everywhere he turned. I was surprised that he was throwing out chunks, though, that had to do with things like Democrats abandoned DACA. I'm the one who cared. Well, wait a minute. He's the one who ended DACA and set this March deadline. Now he finds himself in a situation, the deadline's approaching, and he's got nothing, and the Democrats are willing to take a risk. I hope they're having a little more spine than they did last time when Schumer backed out on that budget deal. And then this business about lock her up. Jesse, it just seems to me like, you know, what would you say, Greg? That's a 1970s hit? You know, I mean, we've been through that, and he's still.
It's his Freebird.
Yes.
Oldie but a goodie.
Oh, that was
That's
the worst
what it
part
is.
when he read the lyrics of the
Classic
song.
rock.
Oh, no, that was Snake.
That was the best part.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like he's going back. He needs a Hillary. He needs an Obama because he's not. He just needs somebody to be.
Well,
but it's just tired.
Right, but Kimberly, I think every politician has a boogeyman out there, whether it's at home or abroad, that they use to score points against. And Hillary continues to be out there in the conversation. So why not take a shot?
She lost.
She's the boogie.
Say that again, Juan.
Yeah, she lost.
Well, she lost the electoral
She
college.
loses
I don't
every
think she
day, though.
thinks she lost.
It's like Groundhog Day for her. Every day she gets up and she's reminded she lost.
You like Pelosi.
Oh, that
That'll
one
be
too.
latest.
Yeah, so Hillary's like the boogie person.
Oh,
you
excuse
can't
me.
say
You're
boogie
right.
man.
I stand corrected.
Right? So the boogie person.
Yes.
And but the crowd loves it. They love it. They're like, oh, okay, lock her up. They go crazy. You know, he does his hair stuff. He like the snake poems. That's the next. You know, so this is like classic quintessential President Trump. This is how he speaks. Every time he gets up in front of somebody, it's a rally opportunity.
Yep.
You know, so and he obviously did very well with the crowd there. They loved him, and he loves them back. So,
And he said that at the end. He said, "I love you guys." Have you've been to CPAC, right?
Yeah, I spoke
Have you
there
ever
like
spoken?
5 years.
Yeah.
There's one thing too that we didn't have. I don't think we had in the montage, where he was explaining what happens after you win an election.
Yeah.
And how like you just won it, and then like a year later you got it. It's really hard. I don't remember any president ever saying that.
Oh my God.
That was human psychology. No, that's human psychology 101. He was explaining why you lose in 2 years in a way that people at home understand. It's like, it's so much work. You already won. And I'm going like, that's the best. It's so persuasive, I think. You're looking at me like I'm from outer space.
This is evidence of how little he knows politics or how little preparation he had for the job. He's never been a senator. He's never been a governor. Never been a congressman.
Yeah, that's why we
never been a
elected him.
mayor. And he comes out, he says, oh, this is really hard. Who knew health care could be so complicated?
At least
to me, this is subject of ridicule.
At least that's honest.
I liked it when he said, that we're working on policies that are good for our enemies. Or he didn't say enemies, but our opponents, and they might not even realize that these policies are good for them, but we're doing them anyway. I thought that was kind of effective.
Yeah, it was effective. He had a few nice things he said about keeping his promise, Kimberly. He bragged, obviously, about he's like, the only politician that's actually kept more promises than he made during the campaign. But when you look back, besides the wall, a lot of the stuff he has delivered on, and the audience really enjoyed that.
They did, and because I think they feel like he's, kind of a man of the people, even though he's a New York billionaire. He's relatable because his language, his rhetoric isn't like flowery. It's very like down to earth.
Yep.
It's like relatable to the average man and woman. Everyone, there's something for everybody there. We're like, you know what? This is my guy. He's not trying to talk above me. He's not trying to talk around me. He's making me feel like I'm here for you. We've got things in common. I'm getting it done. And so that's like a reassuring feeling. It's not like the typical politician where you go, I can't relate to that person at all.
Right. Can I play Skunk at the Garden Party for just a second?
Don't you always?
Be yourself.
I don't know.
I can smell it from here.
But I think he promised to do away with Obamacare.
Well, the mandate's gone.
Oh yeah, I think he said.
The mandate is long gone.
Please get out. Obamacare is so real that Scott Walker in Wisconsin is now even thinking about backing out.
It's a real mess.
Then he says, "Oh, I think we should have infrastructure. Oh, I don't see any infrastructure spending. None. Oh, no.
If the Democrats could come to the table, you might actually get some infrastructure.
How about I promise to cut the deficit? The minute I get in there, we're going to cut. Well,
at least you wiped ISIS off the map. Promise?
Here's what's interesting is that it's amazing to see Democrats caring about a deficit, and Trump did that to him. But the thing about what Kimberly says and what Dana says and what Juan says is the presentation is an old school populist. Gets up there and he's telling you this is what we're going to do. But when you pull back, the reason why none of us all go, like, we have disagreements, all of us do, is because almost everything he does is common sense centrism. If you look at his immigration stance, he talks about enforced border, but he's also talking about 1.7 million people. He talks about guns. He's talking about practical, proactive solutions that some that might even NRA might not like. Tax reform. It didn't help. If people think that really helped the rich, they're wrong.
Can I add one other thing that he did today? It wasn't in the CPAC speech, but in his press conference with Martin Turnbull. He talked briefly, but it was an interesting insight into that he is getting the briefings and he understands what's happening in Syria. And he said it was disgraceful. 250 innocent people that we know of were killed, targeted by Russians and Syrians. And we have a huge mess on our hands there. The one thing that I think is a little bit difficult to understand is, okay, so he says that, but also in the same speech or in the press conference, he says, we have degraded ISIS, we've taken away their territory, and we're out of there. And that is not sustainable. Both of those things cannot be true. So I think going forward in a second year of a presidency, your foreign policy pieces get really important and a little bit more difficult to deal with.
You know, one thing on that, just before we go, it's kind of a serious note, but there are stories now that indicate the Russians were in touch with top leadership before they attacked America.
It's the same guy.
It's
That's
unbelievable.
that report is terrible. You could tell that the president knew about it, and then he was talking to us about it.